What's going on, folks? This is Mr. Coleon Noir, and this is a Glock 21 chambered in 45 ACP. Now, this video was going to be why I believe the Glock 21 is the best home defense handgun. This is going to be my personal assessment. I'm not saying that this is going to be the best home defense for everyone, but I will make the argument for why I believe a vast majority of people should consider the Glock 45, well, the 21 more specifically, as a home defense weapon. Now, I know there are a lot of people who make the argument that 45 or 9, 40, they're all ineffective compared to a rifle, but we're talking about a handgun here. Now, typically I would advocate a 9mm simply because you have a higher capacity count and you have more controllability in terms of follow-up shots. But I really usually advocate the 9mm only when we're talking about a self-defense concealed carry type situation. When you're in public, you have a smaller you typically have a smaller handgun where control and where your bullets land play a bigger part in terms of what happens, and also where capacity plays a big part also. Now, in a home defense situation, I believe capacity plays a big part as well. But the reason why I think the Glock 21 and not the 30, or even worse, the 36 is a good good home defense weapon is because with the Glock 21, you get the capacity of 13 rounds. So that's 13 rounds of 45 ACP that you can use to defend your home in the case in chambered in 45. As far as my experience is concerned, this particular 45 is very controllable. It's controllable, and it's more of a dull thud, more so than a snap you get from a 40. It's not as controllable as a 9, but I think the differences are marginal. So anyone would be able to take this 45, pick it up, and use it. So from that standpoint, I think the controllability and the recoil from a 45 lends itself to a home defense situation. You don't have to deal with the snap of a 40 or the super kick of a 44 mag or something to that effect. So that in itself makes this a good home defense weapon. Now, also what you have with the 45 round in a home defense situation is you don't have to contend with over-penetration issues as much as you would with, say, a very hot plus P 9mm round or 40. 40 is a really, really hot load and it's very snappy. So firing that off in, say, an apartment complex or even in your home, you have to contend with over-penetration issues. Now, the 45 is a heavy, slow-moving bullet. So over-penetration is not going to be so much a problem as it would be in a very hot load of 40 Smith & Wesson. And with the 45, it's America's caliber. Let's just be honest. The 9 is a NATO round, of course, but every time I've gone to a Walmart or any type of store where I needed to buy ammunition, if there was 9mm, there was 45. Plain and simple. No questions about it. They were always there. Now, there may not have been as much 45 as the 9mm, but at the end of the day, it was there, as opposed to 40, 357 mags, which I usually rarely see. So from that standpoint, there is the availability issue. Now, one drawback is that it is more expensive. 45 is probably one of the most expensive rounds between the 940 and the 45. So that is a drawback. But at the end of the day, I think the benefits outweigh the drawbacks from that standpoint. Stopping power. Now, with the 45, what you get is a big old bullet. Granted, it may not be as potent, as effective, say, a rifle round, but it is very much so. It's going to be more effective than a 9 or a 40. I know you can make the argument the 9 is effective, and it really is. I mean, I'm living testament to that. I carry a 9. As far as my concealed carry weapon, but in my home, I like to run a higher caliber handgun simply because I like that little extra that comes with stopping power. It just makes me feel a little bit better when I'm dealing with in-home situations. There's no retreating when you're in your home. The home invasion, you're either going to be in a barricaded situation, or you're going to be at least trying to leave your home, I guess. And then at that point, it wouldn't make much of a difference. So from a stopping power standpoint, you really can't argue with the 45. And there are certain intangible things about the 21 which make it a good home defense handgun. That mainly being the fact that this gun kind of gives you a different level of comfort in that it's big and it's meaty and it feels like a 45. Right? And granted, this may be all delusions of grandeur, but this gun makes you feel every bit of what it's capable of. And in your hand, you feel confident in the gun, knowing that this gun is going to get the job done. But then on top of that, since it is a full-size gun, you get a longer sight radius between your sights, which inevitably makes the gun more accurate. And not only that, and handles the recoil better, so your follow-up shots are going to be even more accurate. Thus, the size of the Glock 21 in this configuration for home defense is actually a plus instead of a minus. Let's say in the real world, or where you can still carry, it now becomes a plus, because now you have a full-size gun, which gives you the confidence when you use it, it's going to do what it needs to do. And not only that, it gives you the longer sight radius, so it's going to be more accurate. It handles the recoil perfectly, so even though it's going to be a little bit bigger thud than the 9, your follow-up shots are still going to be able to put those consistent groups together in a situation where your house is being intruded, when someone tries to intrude in your house. So with that being said, I just really think that this is an all-around good home defense weapon, and it does what it needs to do. It's chambered in 45, and I think it's everything that needs to be said. You have a place where you can add on lights and lasers and anything of the sort, and then plus you have the Glock reliability. It's reliable. It's gonna work. You don't have to worry about it. It's simple, so you don't have to fiddle with safeties and things of that sort in the middle of the night and you don't know what's going on. And I think that in and of itself makes this gun the best home defense handgun to have. Now, I do know it's huge and it's beefy, so somebody with smaller hands won't be able to utilize it as such. But if those aren't an issue, this gun is the best home defense gun in my book. So that's my take on the Glock 21 and Mr. Coleon Noir, and I'm out. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions about it. I try to get to the comments as fast as I can. There are so many of them now that I can't answer all of them, even though I'd like to, and I'm so busy. But I do read every single one of the comments. So you tell me and let me know what you think. Hell, make a video and tell me what you think is the best home defense handgun.